Hey, click on Detroit. The producers are back for another edition of Red Wings Playoff Hockey Talk. And Lou, Game 4 was an absolute backbreaker for the Red Wings. They had a chance to even the series up on home ice, and they obviously did not do that. Tampa Bay really came out very aggressively, and their power play was just absolutely fantastic. Do you have another takeaway from the Game 4?
Detroit they didn't come out quite like they did in Game 3, and you had to expect that Tampa also wouldn't come out like they did in Game 3. They were much better on the power play, obviously, 3 power play goals, and Nikita Kucherov, he's been the nail in the coffin of the Wings in every one of these games so far.
The guy's unbelievable, and the Lightning really did step it up a notch for this Game 4. I mean, they had their 16th shot, which they had in all of Game 3 against Mrazek, came with like 5 minutes to go inside the second period. I mean, so they were all around the net. They were winning every battle around the boards is what I saw. Really, the Wings defense just seemed like they weren't aggressive enough and they weren't going after the puck or after the hits. They were waiting for everyone to come into their area, and that's got to be a cause for concern for Blashill going forward, right?
Yeah, it's been an issue all series. There was one point where Eriksson lost a puck battle in the corner in his own end to Cedric Paquette, who didn't have a stick.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit embarrassing, and it's been like that in all 3 of the losses. They're getting outworked along the boards. They're getting outworked on Tampa's forecheck in their own zone, and they can't formulate a breakout. And in order to succeed in hockey at any level, you have to be able to get the puck out of their zone, and the Wings have not been able to do that.
The thing that's interesting is they've been outplayed clearly in all 3 of their losses, but in all 3 of those games, in the third period, it's been 2-2. The Wings have been right there. They just haven't got that key goal. And there was a moment there when the Wings tied it up where it just looked like they were rocking, and then Larkin. What a chance, what an opportunity Larkin had there. It looked like it went in. You were at the game. You said pretty much 20,000 people all were celebrating the goal, right?
Yeah, it took my friends who were with me about 30 seconds to stop celebrating because the play was still going on. And I thought it was in too. From where we were sitting, it hit the post, and then you saw net behind it, but it just popped over, and really disappointing. But you're right, they're close. They're close in these games, even when they get outplayed. But they have to find a way to bury one.
And that's the big thing. I think going forward, Gustav said it after the game that the leaders talked to everyone in the locker room and they said you got to look ahead. You got to get one game at a time, one win at a time. And really what I think they need to look at is if Larkin's goal goes in, if that shot goes in, they're up 3-2 and they could win that game and then it's an even series. So they know that they can beat Tampa Bay. Last year they beat Tampa twice in the Amalie, so they know they can win on the road. There's enough veterans on this team where they're not going to be nervous going on the road. It comes down to the special teams, right? 5-on-5, they look good. Their power play and their penalty kill has been absolutely below average, right?
Absolutely. And Tampa's power play is just amazing. Kucherov, 2 one-timer goals, and creating havoc on all of their power plays, even the ones that he didn't score on. It also comes down to the Wings veterans. You brought them up, and I think they need to step up. Kronwall, Datsuk, Zetterberg. Nick Kronwall, in the past, he's stepped up with a hit, whether it be a power play goal, which doesn't seem like a likelihood.
No.
But, the physical play needs to step up. Kronwall has been that physical player in the past, and he seems to be shying away from it.
It'll be interesting to see in Game 5. I think Blashill has a big decision to make. It's either he relies on those veteran players that you named and hopes that they will come back to their old glory and win the game for him, or he just absolutely unleashes the youngsters. He lets Athanasiou get the ice time. He gives Larkin the ice time. He puts the faith in Gustav and Tatar to be their goal scorers, and he lets the young defensemen go out there and really play their brand of hockey, which adds some athleticism and adds some attack to their defense. Because right now, everything seems hesitant. They seem like they're reacting to Tampa Bay instead of acting on Tampa Bay. I think that needs to change going forward. And we'll see how Game 5 really plays out, because that, I think, is going to be really the interesting storyline. But with that, this isn't the only series going on. It's obviously the NHL playoffs in the first round. Across the board, all the teams are in there. What's one team that's really surprised you or really stuck out for you?
I think the obvious choice is Washington. They've just dominated the Flyers. Flyers have 2 goals in 3 games. Ed Snyder night in Philly on Game 3, and they played with him for the first period and then just got stomped. So, I think Washington is a tremendous team. And it's not because Philly's not a good team. It's because Washington is so deep. Their goaltending is so strong, but if you can't even get pucks to Holtby, it's not going to be easy to beat them.
Yeah, well, it's about time for the Caps. They got the best goal scorer in Ovechkin. They got the best goalie in Holtby. They should be winning. I want to give a shout out to the St. Louis Blues, though. They're doing the entire NHL a favor here. They're beating the Blackhawks. Really, they're beating the Blackhawks at their game, too, which I absolutely love. And I know everyone outside of the Chicago area is probably rooting for St. Louis to take out the Blackhawks, let someone else get the cup for a change. It's enough with Taves holding the cup every year. Let's see another captain hold that cup. So we'll track the rest of the postseason going going forward. We'll also watch after Game 5 if the Wings win and take this series back here to the Joe in Game 6. We'll be back here to kind of reset you for Game 6, talk about what the Wings need to hopefully continue off of if they do win Game 5 and what they need to do. But until then, we're not stopping with these playoff beards, Lou. Win or loss, the beards are going all summer long. We're just going to keep growing them out because it's a cool thing to do, guys. So until then, keep it here on Click on Detroit. We're going to have all the updates. We're going to have post-game sound from after Game 5 right here on Click on Detroit. And again, like I said, the producers will be back to break it all down for you. So until then, Lou, let's get out of here.
All right.